welcome to Toad's YouTube channel, brought to you by Sports Hub for another edition of the racing show. My name is David Lithgow. I'm here with Shane Donoghue, and I just might mention, Shane, the girls have got you a bit sharper though. The butcher's shirt's gone.
Yeah.
And you've
Michael
got
Douglas, I was known around the office. Everyone thought I was going to come out of McDonald's with an Uzi, so shoot up the joint. But no, I've got the long sleeve, nice colour, tote tie, love it.
They've done a good job indeed. We've back again with a big edition today. Lots to talk about. Of course, Lightning Stakes Day on Saturday, which looks an absolute beauty. Headlined, of course, by Black Caviar again, backing up from its fabulous victory in the Orr Stakes. We're going to talk about the Vamos 2 Stakes up in Launceston on Tuesday night. Superb win where we saw the Queen, Layla Net, keep her throne well and truly, Shane, knocking off Rebel Bride and all newcomers in what was a superb outing. Plenty more racing to come up to in the next couple of weeks, of course, with the Oaks. And the Launceston Cup coming up from Royal Melbourne.
Royal Melbourne.
So looking forward to that. Shane, just quickly, let's go straight to Tuesday night.
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night,
Yep.
the Vamos Stakes. We talked about it all week. Everyone's been talking about it in the racing circles. Rebel Bride was just such a wonderful win at Elwick there a couple of weeks ago. And they couldn't split them the punters. A lot of people thought that Layla Net was going to really come back to the party, up to 1,400 metres. They'd already won the race twice, and it certainly did that.
Well, it was interesting, Flash. I watched the market fluctuate.
Yeah,
from
a
about
lot.
one stage, you had 40 minutes before the race, with about $6,000 in the pool. Lady Net was a clear favourite. $2.50, $2.20 I think it got down, and Rebel Bride was out to $5. But sure enough, all the money came just before the race, even at 30 seconds before the race. And sure enough, they went out $2.60 each.
Yes.
Inseparable.
Couldn't split them.
Which was fantastic. Just built up the atmosphere, and just made for a great race. And look, it didn't let us down.
It certainly did. And Craig Newt already had a good day, ridden a double up to that stage, and he gave Rebel Bride, my opinion, the perfect ride, just off the pace.
Yep.
Pulled it out in the right time, but the 1,400 metres may have proved a little bit too much. Certainly at this stage of the preparation.
Maybe a bit
Rebel
early
Bride.
for it.
Yeah, but Layla Net, too good.
Look, it really was too good. And look, Michael, you talk about Craig Newt. Michael Guthrie had maybe a treble on the night. I'm not sure, but at least a double.
Yes.
A fantastic ride by him. And of course, buzzing along, just filled in the second. But they just overran Rebel Bride right on the line. Look, fantastic race. I think the Queen will be dethroned at some stage. Maybe not this prep, maybe next prep. But by then, Lady Net might be retired. And if it does, it's retired as a champion. And good on the connections for deciding to keep it racing. And it won the Vamos Stakes for a third time, Flash.
Look, an amazing effort, a 7-year-old, of course. This horse, for people that didn't realise, was sold after it finished a credible fifth in the Maya Classic in Melbourne, just got it over the $1 million mark. It was sold, but a few problems went through, and they put it back in preparation. The mare looks as good as ever, and she was outstanding. So it's going to be just interesting. We'll talk to the Bruntons later in the week to see what they're going to do with the next race. I assume it will go to Melbourne and look at a race over them over a mile or 1,400 to a mile.
At least,
It's all sort of some description. So going to be interesting to see what happens there. Shane, just quickly, of course, we've got the big shows coming up next week with the Oaks preview, where we will, and the Launceston Cup preview. We're going to get right back and tuck into the cups. But we'll just touch on the Hobart Cup briefly. GG's Black Flash, outstanding.
Yep, well, we picked it here. I think the rest of the team
most of Australia picked it and still paid $3.
Look, fantastic horse. It won with the leg. A lot of people saying that some of the other horses like Fieldmaster just didn't get the run, and GG's Black Flash was lucky.
Dreamflyer too, Craig.
Dreamflyer, as well. I should mention that. But look, I don't subscribe to that theory. GG's Black Flash is the real deal. So I think that anything the owners and trainer Johnny Luttrell takes GG's Black Flash, he will succeed.
Well, it's interesting too. You would have caught in our YouTube channel the interview with Peter Mertens, Johnny Luttrell as well. And Peter mentioned that he sees this as an Australian Cup horse. It carries weight so well that 2,000 metres Flemington would suit. Paul Gidd, on the other hand, has got other issues and he's got other agendas. He wants to keep that horse in Tasmania. The weights are going to come out in the next day or two. It's going to be interesting to see what it's going to carry the Launceston Cup. just to stem up the form line, which is outstanding. We saw the Mornington Cup yesterday, and we saw Wilder McShane source Norski. Didn't they go over there? They saw and they conquered. $21 winner. Norski didn't just win; it blew away a quality field, got itself a run in the Caulfield Cup. Now, Wilder McShane, of course, deliberately went over to Mornington to steer clear of GG's
Black Flash,
which is extraordinary, and that blew that field away. Drunken Sailor beat 4 lengths to the Caulfield Cup, beat it by three lengths on its merit.
And if you remember the Summer Cup Flash back on the 22nd of January, where GG's Black Flash absolutely smashed Norski.
Yeah, 6 lengths.
So all these pretenders from the mainland who avoided the Hobart Cup for GG's to avoid the racing
or doubted the form, doubted the quality. I think
exactly. So, look, I think a Caulfield Cup wouldn't be out of the questions for GG's Black Flash. I don't think it will race in a Caulfield Cup, but I would love to see it race in a Caulfield Cup.
Lots happening and lots to look forward to the next couple of weeks. Of course, we will be going to Oaks Day next Wednesday and backing up the following Wednesday. It's the big one, the finale, as far as the big events go, and the Tasmanian Tote Summer Carnival Launceston Cup. Shane, just very quickly, we're going to look at Flemington for the weekend, Lightning Stakes Day. But on the weekend, we had the absolute privilege, Shane, of talking to, this is the doyen of all doyens, make no mistake about it, Des Gleeson, and Des was very kind to give us some time. Welcome back here. Welcome, Des Gleeson, to Tasmania again. Des, good to see you.
Good to be here. Yeah.
We haven't heard a lot about you in the last few years since you left the post back home in Victoria. What are you doing with yourself now?
Well, I'm involved in racing here in Tasmania. I did a bit of consultancy work when I first retired, and now I'm on the board of Tas Racing, so really enjoying it and really enjoying seeing Tas Racing and Tasmanian racing improving.
Now, of course, when you did retire from your post in the VRC, you did the Melbourne Cup tour for that year, and now I believe you're obviously involved with the AFL as well, and New South Wales harness racing as well.
Yes, well, I'm still involved with the Melbourne Cup tour as an ambassador, and I've done it for the last 3 years.
Yes.
And thoroughly enjoy that. I've been right around Australia with the famous trophy, and I am involved with the AFL on the match review panel.
Yeah. Tell us about that. What the difference between what you were doing? Is it completely different environment, similar thing?
Well, a different environment, but similar. Once a steward, always a steward, and the match review panel. I did play a bit of football as a young fellow, and I umpired, so I do like the Australian rules football.
Yes. Who do you support?
I'm a Western Bulldogs. I'm a Western Bulldogs fan, but. Being on the match review panel, you assess each game at the weekend and any incidents that could be in breach of the rules. We do rate on a Monday and then issue penalties against the players if they've committed any breach of the rules. So it's not unlike what we did as a steward. So I've enjoyed that last year, and I'm doing it again this year. And I'm also involved in the Harness Racing New South Wales judiciary into an inquiry into incidents that have happened there over the last few years. So I'm still involved in racing in one form or other.
There's still no winding down then. You mean you've left your post, what was it, 4 years ago now?
About 3.5 years ago. I left after 35 years as a steward and 12 as chairman of stewards. So I left that, but still involved in racing. Once racing's in your blood, it's in your blood for life.
Tell me about the relationship you have with the people around you at the VRC you work with. Now you're not in that top position. Is it a different environment somewhat?
Yeah, slightly different. When I do go to the races, quite a number of them sidle up to me for a chat about certain issues, and I respect what the racing participants have done within the industry, and there might be a little bit of mutual respect, because I do keep in contact with quite a number of people involved in the racing industry, and will do for the rest of our life.
It's fantastic to hear the dulcet tones here. We've listened to you for years, of course, on the radio, etc. Good to see you're enjoying your time in Tasmania. Is it a spasmodic thing you're down, or?
Well, I've been on the board for the last couple of years, and it's something I've really enjoyed, being able to contribute to improve racing in Tasmania. I think it's got a lot to offer. I really do. With night racing at Launceston, for example, on a Wednesday night, I think that's a real opportunity. And racing here in Hobart, it's significant carnival, the summer racing carnival down here, and it attracts horses and trainers and jockeys and owners from the mainland of Australia as well to compete against the locals.
Now, the obvious question before we leave you on Sports Hub, do you have a bet now, Des?
Well, I am, but I haven't. I bet before I became a steward, and that's about 38 years ago, and I still haven't reached into the pocket and had a bet since, so I'll have a die hard.
Thanks very much for joining us. It's a pleasure talking to you on Sports Hub.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Des Gleeson, just one of the great individuals. He might just be the nicest guy, I reckon, Shane, that you and I have ever met.
And it's great to see him down here involved in racing in Tasmania.
Yeah, fantastic. And as you can see, folks, he's got plenty of lot on his plate since he retired as the VRC's chief steward nearly 4 years ago. Shane, Flemington on the weekend. We're going to go through these races really quickly, starting with the Talon Dirt Stakes. A few horses still a chance to get into the Blue Diamond, of course, which is coming up very shortly. Shane, just quickly, what did you like?
Look, one of those horses that can get into in the Blue Diamond, all it has to do is finish second, is number 1, Timely Truce.
Yes.
It's got Ollie on board. It's got a very nice barrier. I'm tipping that to finish first. And just a bit of value flash. Bass Straight, out of a very good sprinting side, Holy Roman Emperor, very good each-way chance.
All too hard for me. They first started for Dwayne Dunn from the Hawks camp. A few big raps on this coming through the airways the last week or so that's the one I will be going with, Shane. We're going to skip through. So that's the listed Talon Dart Stakes. Just remind you that the opportunity to enter the Blue Diamond there coming up shortly. Through to race 4, Shane. The Vanity, it's a good race here, and we see the return, or the second time return of Machine up to the 1400.
Yes, excellent horse. I can't go past that as my pick flash. It's a Crown Oaks winner. Had a lovely, very comfortable win last start over 1200 metres at Caulfield. It had no trouble coming from the back and just came out wide and smashed them down the straight. So that'll be my pick.
Machine will be winning. There's no problems there whatsoever. It's going to be very short. Maybe earlier the better. Speaking of good horses, Shane, there's a good one coming up here in race 5, the CS Hayes Stakes. Time on a race, been going for a long time, over 1410 metres. And we see a return of another good one, 3-year-old. Well, it's one of the best, Helmet. Outstanding horse for Peter Snowden and Kieran McAvoy.
Oh, look, undoubtedly it's a quality runner in the field flash, but I'm not going to go for Helmet. Okay. I'm going to go for number 5, De Circles, out of Encosta de Largo. Should be a very juicy price, I would have thought. Seeing the Helmet's in there and probably paying about $1.50 at the start. Yes. So that's going to be my value, De Circles.
Helmet will be winning, but there's one there for Mick Price and Craig Muir that's just took all before them in the spring. A couple of rough prices too at $30 plus. Instinction back had a good first up win there the other week. That'll be pushing Helmet to the limit, but that will be Mike Quinella. Shane, race 5. Race 6 is the big one. Of course, on the weekend we had a lot of the top jocks down here in Tasmania. And unfortunately, Damian Oliver didn't have a ride in the Lightning Stakes. He wasn't sure at this stage. Just before the Hobart Cup, we managed to catch up with Ollie with his thoughts on a few things. Not only the Hobart Cup, but Black Caviar and potentially the Lightning Stakes. We're here with top hoop Damian Oliver. And Ollie, you mount today. You're pretty confident in the Cup?
Yeah, he's got a nice chance. He ran a very good race at Flemington last start. And small field and the outside draw, I think, will really suit him.
You've had a bit of luck down at Hobart too, and you're always a winner down here. You enjoy coming back to the big smoke of Tassie?
Yes, I do. Yeah, it's always a good time of year to come down, and it's even better if you can take the cup home.
Just going forward with the awesome carnival coming, what you really looking forward to back home in Melbourne?
I've got Sister Madley running this Saturday in the Lightning, yes. Which looks a nice chance. I hope Black Caviar doesn't back up. And had a nice horse I rode last week called Soft Sand as well. So there are a couple of nice ones coming forward for us. Yeah. And a horse like Sabrage, I think, looking forward, is a nice horse going towards the Australian Derby.
Tell us about Black Caviar. I mean, everyone would ask you, what does it mean to Australian racing as a jockey and part of the system? It's such a wonderful thing it appears to be from the outside. She's
certainly bringing the crowds back. There's massive crowds whenever she runs, and But from my point of view, I'm getting sick of chasing her, to be honest. So she's just frightening everyone away as far as the field she goes. I'll be happy to see the back end of it when she goes overseas, I think.
It's amazing to have a horse that runs over 1,400 metres, of course, and then almost a second thought going to $750,000 1,000-metre race next week.
Yeah, well, I mean, she seems pretty bulletproof at the moment, so it's certainly not beyond her.
Now, any chance you could scrub Lukey Nolan off in the ring out here or something? He's not here today, of course, but it'd be a beautiful ride, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be a dream. I don't think so, though. I think he'd be sleeping with her.
All the best next week with Sister Madley. And yeah, as you said, it was a good run you had yesterday, and it's one we'll certainly follow.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us here on the Tote Sports Hub.
No worries.
Damian Oliver, he looked very healthy, well within, as a human or an animal or what have you, he was right at his top. Yeah, Damian Oliver, he's brown skin, he does a lot of surfing in course. Great chat.
And he's going for a bit of a holiday flash. Yep. I think he's going over to Hong Kong for a little stint over there. So, spend a bit of dough over there, enjoy the high life.
Super jock that he is. He's been in terrific form, as he always is. He ever out of form, Damian Oliver? No, he's not. Lightning Stakes, Shane. It's a ripping race. Looking forward to it. It's top weight. It's coming with Feeling Rally, but the horse we're all looking forward to see is Black Caviar, 56.5 kilos. 1,000 metres. It's interesting. It's coming back from 1,400 metres. There's no other horse anywhere in the world that could possibly do this except this one.
This one, yes. The Superman Black Caviar. That is undoubtedly going to win. We've said it all before. The danger, obviously, will be Haylist. That'll be running for second. Don't worry about that. And the one you mentioned, the top way, Feeling Ready, won me a lot of money as a 2-year-old flush. Won a Magic Millions race up on the Gold Coast and also a Golden Slipper winner. So I'm going to see if my money doesn't get munched again and have a little bit each way on that.
Yeah, no, it'll be winning. Black Caviar and Haylist to be running second, and I'm not sure about anything else. I don't think there's anything else needed to talk about, Shane. Black Caviar, the easiest $450,000 that horse will
ever make.
Super horse. Let's look forward to watching the great mare once again. Race 7, Shane, is the next leg of the quaddie. We're just going to quickly cover the rest of the quaddie legs for all our fans out there on Sports Hub YouTube channel. Shane, just your tips quickly.
Look, I'm going to go for speediness. Colin Scott, Glenn Boss. It's definitely the form horse going into the race, so I'll definitely be having that in my quaddie.
And Pago Rock for me, it's probably going to be the favourite, but I like Peter Moody, Luke Nolan, the best combination in the country. They will give themselves every opportunity, Shane. Race 8 is the Heron Bridge Handicap over 1,200 metres. And it's another good race. Just quickly, I went and looked at it. I like Spirited Eagle here. It's an interesting horse in the spring, again for Mick Price. It looks close to getting up to a listed group class, but hasn't quite taken that extra step. But it's a good test first up here. It's going to be a little bit of value too. Spirited Eagle for me, for Mick Price and Craig Newitt.
And that's paying about $7.50 flash on Better Sport, so very good value. I'm going to go for the Bar Cummings trained Rock Classic. I think that's definitely going to be a bit of value as well. So Stephen Arnold on top. I'll definitely be having that in my quaddie Rock Classic.
So that about wraps up the show. Thanks again for joining us on the Tote YouTube channel here, brought to you by Sports Hub. Looking forward to catching you next week. All the action from the Launceston Oaks at Mowbray, and of course a week later, the Launceston Cup. Wonder if there's a few more horses coming to town. It's going to be interesting. The fields are going to be out next week, Shane. The weights, of course, for the Cup in Launceston, which will be the final big one over the Tote Summer Racing Carnival, which has been outstanding. We'll catch you then.